What do you do when the fate of the nation hangs by a thread? That fateful question sliced through the darkness over ravaged streets and abandoned back alleys of once proud American cities like a bolt of destiny. In the pre-dawn haze, when time itself seemed suspended between what was and what could be, the air was heavy with an unyielding sorrow and palpable anxiety at the prospect of an impending calamity. Every whispered word and every sigh of nature felt like an omen of doom. The very question became a solemn summons, urging every soul to confront the fragility of human existence. Beneath an expansive sky, where storm clouds merged into one oppressive canvas, nature itself appeared as an ancient oracle. The wind, raw and unbridled, carried echoes of past eras, of times when nature's wrath had obliterated even the strongest symbols of human achievement. The American earth, as if alive, trembled and groaned with every subtle protest, reminding all that nothing in this world is eternal. The shattered neighborhoods and deserted avenues bore mute testimony to eras when the grandeur of ambition met the unyielding force of the natural world. Once bustling streets now lay in an eerie, haunting silence, broken only by the measured footsteps of solitary wanderers. These people, scarred by loss and the collapse of the familiar American dream, searched desperately for answers amid the ruins of abandoned storefronts and crumbling facades. Every tired glance, laden with pain and uncertainty, reached upward as if beseeching the heavens for a long-forgotten light, a light that once warmed hearts and fueled determination. Beneath the cold gleam of flickering streetlights reflecting off shattered glass, it became clear, this disaster was not a mere accident but a clarion call demanding that every citizen reckon with the precariousness of life. Deep within hearts draped in despair, a fragile spark of memory lingered, a remembrance of days when laughter and hope animated vibrant American neighborhoods, when optimism was as constant as the sunrise after the darkest night. Those lost moments, like whispered prayers, fought their way through layers of grief, offering the strength to rise anew. People, like weary travelers on a long, uncertain journey, gathered the fragments of hope and began rebuilding the bridges between one another, daring to believe that from even the deepest devastation a new dawn might emerge. Above it all, the sky, laden with heavy leaden clouds, foretold further trials. Every flash of lightning that rent the darkness was a stark reminder of life's transience, while the low rumble of thunder evoked the bitter truth that even our loftiest achievements can crumble before nature's relentless might. Like ships adrift on a stormy sea, the people sought refuge in their dreams, piecing together shards of hope in a desperate bid to restore the bonds of community. Every raindrop shimmering on the ruins, every glimmer of light piercing the overcast gloom, whispered a promise. Even in the blackest night, a pathway to renewal awaits. Bathed in the soft glow of a reluctant moon, the remnants of once celebrated streets told personal stories of love, loss, and an indomitable will to live. These stories, like solitary candles in a vast darkness, rekindled the belief that a new day was inevitable. In every rustle of fallen leaves and every exhaled breath of wind, the legacy of bygone eras murmured softly of resilience, a testament to the truth that, no matter how severe the trial, humanity has always found the strength to rise again. Here, on the threshold between past and future, that simple, piercing question transformed into an anthem of life, a call so potent it could vanquish the deepest shadows of disaster. In the midst of relentless catastrophe, when despair clung to every battered street and abandoned block in America, one man emerged whose vision was fixed firmly on the horizon of tomorrow: Elon Musk. His arrival was like the first glimmer of dawn breaking through a suffocating darkness, a spark of innovation igniting hope in even the most downtrodden hearts. As the haunting question, "What do you do when the fate of the nation hangs by a thread?" continued to reverberate across desolate urban landscapes, Musk began to recount his own journey, a testament to the idea that even in the depths of hopelessness, a single spark can dispel the darkness. Musk recalled his early tumultuous days at SpaceX, a time when failure loomed like a specter and every setback threatened to shatter American dreams of progress. He remembered the painful series of rocket failures, each one a stark reminder of the fine line between ambition and collapse. "We were staring into the abyss," he confessed, "and it seemed the only escape was to take a monumental risk, to believe that even the darkest night must eventually give way to a bright, hopeful dawn." His voice carried the weight of hard-won wisdom, not the arrogance of untested optimism, but the honest account of a man who had stared failure in the face and refused to surrender. Every element of his narrative shimmered with metaphor and symbolism. He compared his journey to navigating a vessel through a relentless storm, where each towering wave was an obstacle and every fleeting glimmer of light was proof that the destination lay within reach. For Musk, every rocket standing poised for launch was more than a machine. It was the physical embodiment of a dream that, even in the face of overwhelming odds, had to be nurtured and protected. In the moments when everything seemed lost, he explained, It was the smallest spark of hope that ignited the fire of transformation. His words resonated deeply, affirming that each failure was but a stepping stone on the long road to monumental success. He spoke vividly of the bleak hours when the SpaceX production lines were shrouded in a silence heavy with disappointment. One fateful night, as he looked up at the starlit American sky, he realized that what appeared impossible might yet be within grasp. In the cramped, pressure-filled meeting rooms of his headquarters, spaces echoing with both anxiety and resolve, he witnessed a flicker of determination in the eyes of his team. That spark, however small, was enough to reaffirm his belief that every setback, every crack in the foundation of old certainties, could herald the start of a new era if only one dared to dream boldly and act decisively. Musk's words were a call to embrace risk and learn from failure, an invitation to see setbacks not as permanent defeats but as the raw material for innovation. To him, true breakthroughs were born out of crisis, when the old rules crumbled and one was left with nothing but the unadulterated desire to forge a better future. For Musk, science and technology weren't just tools for reaching the stars, they were symbols of the enduring human spirit, capable of lighting a beacon of hope even in the darkest of times. This spark of the dream, burning fiercely against a backdrop of devastation, soon became a rallying point for all who listened. With every impassioned word, it seemed as if the oppressive gloom of despair began to recede, replaced by the promise of a future constructed on unwavering resolve and the transformative power of innovation. His personal journey, fraught with setbacks yet marked by eventual triumph, became a bridge connecting the era of fear to one of boundless possibility. Every listener, absorbing his every word, discovered anew that no obstacle was insurmountable when armed with knowledge and relentless determination. Thus, the voice of Elon Musk, rich with scientific zeal and hard-earned conviction, became a beacon through the darkness, a herald of transformation in a nation poised on the brink of rebirth. Amid the chaos and ruin, as the dark grip of disaster tightened its hold on the nation, a new force emerged from the corridors of American power: Donald Trump. His appearance was as sudden and striking as a bolt of lightning cleaving through storm clouds over a landscape scarred by calamity. With every confident stride, Trump exuded an energy that was both magnetic and formidable, and every word he uttered carried the weight to stir ancient convictions while igniting a mix of hope and apprehension among the people. Trump entered the epicenter of the crisis like a harbinger of change, embodying the waning era of outdated systems that had long lost their efficacy in protecting the American way of life. His rhetoric, bold, unapologetic, and fiercely direct, served as a clarion call against the remnants of the old order. He insisted that sweeping, uncompromising transformation was not only necessary but overdue, arguing that traditional methods had long since failed to meet the challenges of today's disasters. His voice, resonant and unwavering, carried the promise of a new beginning, a promise that demanded the public choose between the comfort of the past and the tumultuous promise of a radically reformed future. Every gesture, every intonation, revealed a stark duality. On one hand, he presented himself as a resolute champion, prepared to dismantle the decaying institutions of yesterday. On the other, his methods evoked a deep-seated fear among those who saw his approach as a potential threat to the delicate stability of society. The eyes of Americans, watching from shattered storefronts, deserted neighborhoods, and even from the quiet suburbs, reflected a complex cocktail of admiration and trepidation. For many, Trump was the embodiment of a new assertive leadership ready to revive a fractured nation. For others, he was a disruptive force, a wild card whose radical strategies might usher in even greater chaos. Like an unyielding craftsman of change, Trump spared no effort in challenging and tearing down the vestiges of the old regime. His political style was akin to walking a tightrope, a high-stakes performance marked by bold moves and unexpected twists, where every statement was designed to shake the foundations of complacency. With each provocative pronouncement and every unexpected turn of phrase, he compelled the nation to confront a stark choice: cling to the worn-out certainties of the past or embrace the fierce, if unsettling, promise of renewal. His approach, while divisive, carried an undeniable logic. Only by shattering obsolete structures could America hope to rebuild stronger and more resilient. In a time when traditional institutions had lost the public's faith, Donald Trump became a lightning rod for those yearning for decisive action. He tapped into deep-seated fears and aspirations alike, transforming his speeches into rallying cries for action. His words crashed over his audience like thunder rolling across the vast American heartland, quickening pulses and stirring a desperate hope for change. Even as his methods sparked intense debate, one truth remained evident: in moments of profound crisis, only bold, and sometimes controversial steps could pave the way for a revitalized society. In neighborhoods once dominated by silence and despair, his figure emerged as a symbol of relentless determination. The shadow of his authority stretched long and formidable over streets and hearts alike, a constant reminder that the old order had crumbled and that a new era demanded equally resolute leadership. Though his presence evoked both hope and fear, it also forced the nation to reckon with the reality that only through radical change could America rise from the ruins. Thus, in the very heart of the storm, Donald Trump embodied the paradox of power, a force capable of uniting and dividing in equal measure. His looming shadow over the remnants of a decaying past served as a stark emblem. Power wielded with resolve can tear down the old and forge a path to a future yet unimagined, but not without demanding sacrifices and enduring the heavy toll of transformation. At the crossroads of a fading past and the blazing promise of tomorrow, the destinies of two formidable figures converged in a moment that was as inevitable as it was transformative: Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Against the backdrop of a fractured America, where every crack in the pavement whispered tales of lost dreams and every shard of sunlight broke through oppressive skies, these two men met, each representing a radically different vision for the nation's future. Their encounter was no mere accident of circumstance, but the merging of two distinct yet complementary ideologies. Musk, with his calm visionary presence, spoke of how even the smallest spark could kindle a flame bright enough to dispel the lingering darkness. He recounted moments when his team, against all odds, had propelled a craft toward the stars, as if carrying the collective aspirations of a nation on its wings. "We carry the light of knowledge," he declared, "because even in the deepest crisis there exists the seed of a new beginning." In reply, Donald Trump, confidently striding along the battered streets of American cities once alive with the voices of proud citizens, asserted that a nation's true greatness was measured not solely by dreams, but by the unyielding will to transform adversity into opportunity. His voice, as commanding as thunder rolling over the heartland, resonated with the conviction that dramatic, unapologetic reform was not just necessary but long overdue. For Trump, renewal meant not only rekindling the spirit of America but also dismantling the relics of an outdated past, even if that meant enduring hardship and sacrifice. In this spirited dialogue, each leader discovered in the other a mirror reflecting their own struggles and hopes. Musk spoke of invisible threads binding every atom and star, arguing that the precision of science could usher in an era where even nature's immutable laws bowed before the power of human resolve. Trump, drawing on years of political experience, countered that true governance lay in uniting a diverse populace into a single resolute chorus against chaos. Their words merged like notes in a stirring symphony, a harmonious blend that signified the rebirth of a nation, where every pause and every crescendo heralded a new era of promise. Beneath the scarred facades of abandoned buildings and amidst the hushed murmurs of a recovering public, these two visionaries found common ground. Their conversation, rich in metaphor and fueled by raw determination, bridged the realms of cutting-edge innovation and pragmatic leadership. In that fleeting moment, differences faded, replaced by a shared commitment to rebuild a nation shattered by disaster. The fusion of Musk's scientific optimism and Trump's decisive pragmatism offered a blueprint for renewal, a melding of dreams and determination that promised to transcend the limitations of the past. Like two tributaries merging into a mighty river, their ideas intertwined to form a powerful current capable of washing away the debris of obsolete systems. Musk, with his aspiration for technological marvels that reached beyond the confines of Earth, and Trump, with his rallying call to restore order on the ground, together embodied a holistic vision of resurgence. Their converging paths became a living testament to the idea that even in a fragmented land, diverse dreams can coalesce into a future defined by resilience and innovation. As their dialogue echoed through streets and resonated in the hearts of onlookers, every listener felt that change was not a distant possibility but an imminent reality. The interweaving of their fates, like delicate threads forming a vibrant tapestry, spoke of a new chapter in American history. At that nexus of hope and determination, the promise of a revitalized nation was being written, a story where the union of visionary ideas and pragmatic action would restore America to its full glory. In that transformative encounter, as the voices of two extraordinary men merged into a single resonant vision, the entire nation found renewed faith that unity, even amid stark contrasts, was the key to a bright and enduring future. At last, as the final storm clouds of ruin lifted from a battered America, a new dawn emerged, gentle yet resolute, a radiant promise of renewal and rebirth. With the first rays of morning light, as if painted by the brush of hope itself, the landscape began to transform. Every beam of sunlight, breaking through the fractures of once mighty structures, stood as a symbol of victory over the shadows of the past. In that transformative moment, it seemed as though the very fabric of the nation had awakened from a long slumber, assuring everyone that even the bleakest night must give way to the brilliance of day. Across scarred urban sprawls and forgotten rural roads, once gripped by chaos, a steady, determined rhythm began to emerge. Americans, wearied by relentless storms of fate and hardened by loss, rose like the majestic bald eagle soaring against a clear sky, embracing the warmth and promise of a fresh start. Faces, illuminated by the soft glow of early morning, began to shine with an inner light, a rekindling of the communal spirit that had long been suppressed by despair. Every step taken, every act of rebuilding, became part of a collective mission, to forge a new nation where the past would serve solely as a lesson and the future would be open to boundless possibility. In that pivotal moment, the groundbreaking vision of Elon Musk converged with the resolute leadership of Donald Trump, setting the stage for an unparalleled transformation. Musk, the visionary whose passion for innovation knew no bounds, laid out a future where American ingenuity reached far beyond the confines of Earth. His dreams of advanced technologies, renewable energy, and interplanetary exploration ignited the imaginations of those who believed that the sky was not the limit but merely the beginning of endless opportunity. In response, Donald Trump called for a united effort to restore order and rebuild the very foundations of society. His impassioned addresses painted vivid images of revitalized cities and robust infrastructures, visions where every citizen would share in the rebirth of the nation. Together, these two leaders forged an alliance that bridged visionary ambition with pragmatic action, uniting technological marvels with the grounded resolve needed to reconstruct a shattered land. Across America, the landscape itself began to change. The ruins of the old world were repurposed as the bedrock of modern communities, a testament to the resilience and inventive spirit of a nation reborn. Builders, engineers, and everyday citizens became the artisans of this new era, restoring bridges, repaving highways, and erecting structures that stood as symbols of progress and hope. Every restored boulevard, every reimagined park, every revitalized neighborhood bore witness to the transformative power of unity and determination. The light of this new dawn permeated not only the physical world but also the hearts and minds of the people. In cities once shrouded in silence and despair, the sounds of laughter, conversation, and renewed community life filled the air. Even the most forgotten corners of rural America began to bloom again under the gentle caress of hope, a hope carried on the morning breeze mingling the scents of fresh rain and blossoming wildflowers. The collective heartbeat of the nation, long subdued by disaster, now pulsed with the promise of regeneration. At this defining moment, as the nightmares of recent days gave way to a clear vision of possibility, Americans discovered that every setback was merely a stepping stone to greatness. This new dawn was more than just the start of another day, it was the living embodiment of the American spirit, a resilient, unyielding force that, when united, could heal even the deepest wounds and forge a future of prosperity and justice. As the sun climbed higher, its golden rays casting warmth over a nation on the mend, one truth became unmistakably clear: the promise of a brighter tomorrow was not an elusive dream but an attainable reality. The united heartbeat of America, hopeful, determined, and resolute, echoed through every street, every neighborhood, affirming that no disaster, no matter how devastating, could ever extinguish the enduring spirit of the United States. Thus, as the final shadows of night melted away, the nation rose, united in its quest for renewal. From bustling metropolises to quiet small towns, every American embraced this new chapter with confidence, knowing that as long as the spark of hope burned brightly, nothing could stand in the way of a free, resilient, and just future.